What's going on, everyone? It's Joe here, back with Jar Jar Jargon. Today we are talking why I think it is now or never for Luke Skywalker's redemption in the Star Wars universe. There's been a ton of speculation ever since Ahsoka showed up at Luke's academy during the episode 6 of Book of Boba Fett, where he's at his academy on Ossus. Obviously, the speculation was that he would show up in the Ahsoka show somehow. It makes sense. He's really only the other known Force wielder in the galaxy besides Ahsoka at this time, excluding Grogu, of course, but that one encounter in the Book of Boba Fett kind of felt like a tease for things to come. And yet, here we are, the Ahsoka show is over, and no Luke Skywalker, not even a mention of Luke Skywalker in the show, which honestly is a little bit shocking to me, especially considering even at the beginning of the show, we have two Force wielders going onto a New Republic ship, killing everybody on the ship, and taking a high-value prisoner. Now, of course, yes, this is the prisoner that Ahsoka brought to them, so I don't think it's out of the question that they would call her, but of course, the New Republic has one Jedi hero that took down two Death Stars, including the Emperor and Darth Vader, that being Luke Skywalker. You'd think they would at least reach out to him to let him know, hey, there's two lightsaber-wielding Force users out here, and they've taken over a New Republic ship. We would at least imagine that he would be involved in some way. But nonetheless, he wasn't, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, Ahsoka was the one who brought Morgan to the New Republic, so I don't think it's insane that they would call on her, especially Hera having that connection with Ahsoka would call on her. Not crazy at all. Where it gets a little crazier is when Ahsoka decides she's going to go on this mission now to stop Thrawn, and she's going against what is seemingly three Force wielders, now including Marok as well. It's at this point that I really have to believe she would at least go to Luke. Now, we already know she knows Luke at this time. It was confirmed to us that this story took place after Mandalorian Season 3, so she definitely knows Luke. She's been to his temple, but Ahsoka decided to lean on Sabine, who didn't really have any kind of Jedi powers at all. She really wasn't even Force sensitive to any degree until the last episode of the season, when she kind of finally started to hone her skills with the Force. Now, of course, you can say maybe there was some rough feelings there because of Anakin. She definitely overcame that stuff in Episode 5, but considering the conversations we already saw her have with Luke, the way she smiled at him, it kind of made me think that she doesn't have any ill will towards him, especially because of his father. I would also have to imagine that Luke at some point in time told Ahsoka that Anakin did turn back to the light side. But you probably see where I'm going with this. It just starts to feel like we're jumping through hoops to explain Luke's absence all the time. And the deeper and deeper we get into this New Republic plot thread of their war against Thrawn, the more and more their absence, even, Leia and Han's absence, is going to be felt. Now, Leia's was already felt a little bit. Of course, we did get several mentions of her. We had 3PO speaking on behalf of her, which I think is a really cool way to do it. Obviously, deep fake technology is going to be very expensive, which Disney seems adamant about doing. I think really what we need to do here is just recast the original trilogy characters, get some solid lookalikes. We could do Billy Lord for Carrie Fisher's character, of course. A lot of people say Sebastian Stan for Luke. I'm fine with that too. Honestly, the guy they used for Book of Boba Fett, who was the body double, looks just like Mark Hamill, young Mark Hamill as well, so they could use him. And Han, we already have a young Han. He played him in the Solo movie. But it's becoming more and more clear that that is going to become a necessary step if Lucasfilm wants to tell these stories in this time period. We are expecting to see the original trilogy heroes at some point, and we're not doing that at this point in time, which is a little crazy. And that's why I think it is now or never for Luke Skywalker to become a prominent role in this story. Ahsoka and Sabine are stranded on Peridea. Possibly they will be stranded there forever, and I won't be mad about that. That allows us to get new stories in a new galaxy apart from things like the sequel trilogy. And while Ezra has made it back to the core galaxy, he's nowhere near the Jedi that Luke Skywalker is. He just used the lightsaber for the first time in 10 years, so I'm expecting him to be a little bit rusty, especially as we see more of him down the line in a possible Ahsoka Season 2. And that's why I think it would be really cool to see him and maybe even Jason go to Luke Skywalker to get some additional training. I think in Mandalorian Season 4, we're going to really start to feel Thrawn's presence as a threat to the galaxy. And then, of course, in Ahsoka Season 2, I think that's when they bring in Luke Skywalker and start to have him help against this threat. And beyond just Ahsoka Season 2, I think he has to play a huge role in this Dave Filoni movie. This is a New Republic time period movie. We want to see Luke be the hero. once more. We didn't really get that in the sequel trilogy. Honestly, we were kind of robbed of it, and this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity for a do-over in a way. Obviously, Luke was a huge part of the original Heir to the Empire Thrawn trilogy, which this is all being loosely based on, so I definitely want to see Luke in there. I want to see a lot of Luke action, and I want to see him train other Jedi and take other Jedi on into his academy. Now, we know that his academy becomes a failure, which is a disappointment, but it doesn't mean that some of the Jedi that actually trained on him can't become successful, and maybe Ezra at some point down the road goes back to Peridea looking for Sabine. I think it would be kind of poetic in that way. It's like poetry, it rhymes, and it would be kind of cool to see him get away from the core galaxy as we know it before it goes up in flames with the First Order. That's all I got for you guys today. I definitely just wanted to talk a little bit more about Luke Skywalker. I did want to see him in season 1 of Ahsoka. I'm a little disappointed we didn't, but I'm definitely expecting him to play a big role in either season 2 or this Dave Filoni movie. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please do hit like and subscribe, and also if you haven't, check out the animated Heir to the Empire trailer on my channel, trying to get some support for that project, so go ahead and check that out. As always guys, thanks for watching.
Lolo Banu Matafa.